Good morning. How are you, Mr. Aydin?
Hey, let's be very excited actually about this.
We're out for a nice morning run, and objective for today is to launch the RunCast. We have Mr. Aydin.
Hi everybody, I'm Aydin. More than anything, I'm Lutfi's best friend. I'm working in consulting, and we can say I'm a little bit of sports junkie. I've been a competitive swimmer since I was 9, and then there was a little bit of break I did, and I would say sports for me is never something that I squeeze in my schedule. I feel sports is not something that you do just a checkbox activity, but it's almost like a spiritual activity where you connect with yourself, where you really push your limits and you just discover who you are.
And in a way, like one of the key reasons this whole concept was thought of, I think when you think about running and preparing for marathon, the discipline, the practice that goes to it is like, as you're initiating like a plan, and in a way, there is a strong parallel to it with life, you know, like everyone have their own pace, everyone have like their own journey, and that's kind of the same path of a marathon. So that's to some extent what we are also trying to share through this experience and new concept.
To be honest, I really agree with you on this, because I mean, in life, I think, as you know as well, I'm quite impatient person. I typically want to see the results just on the spot, and I get a bit jittery when it's not there. But throughout my marathon trainings, what I learned is exactly what you're saying. Just when you have a plan in place, and when you actually stick to that plan, it really takes you to the desired goal. And I feel that's an important quality that teaches you as well. Just having the discipline, sticking to a plan, and then just seeing that those results that yield, there's so much parallel that you can take with life as well. Esports as a little universe of life that you take some lessons, and the most important thing is like what it changes you, because there's also a lot of, in my view, performative culture nowadays. People just wanna do better personal best, and then just like pushing through for the sake of pushing through. But the important thing is also like who we become in the process. How do you engage that with your own relationships as well? How do you engage that when you encounter something at work? That is the spiritual part that I really enjoy actually.
You said something quite important in the sense of like a lot of people today, like we see them quite active running, and running became a quite mainstream activity for everyone. I mean, why do you think that's the case?
I mean, first, there's a growing awareness of health. When we look at maybe 10, 15 years ago, the people, how they would socialize was just drinking, going out on a Friday. I feel nowadays people are more health conscious. The other thing is the community aspect. That, I mean, running, although it's a solitary activity, I mean, just like we are doing right now, you know, there are people who get together and who do the activity, who speak, who are on a shared goal, who support each other. I mean, when you go to any marathon event, there are more fans, there are people who are cheering more than the number of runners as well. So I think that sense of community is a really important aspect, and like people just supporting each other to push their limits. There's a big support, although people are individually pushing their limits.
I mean, I've been just looking at some data and stats lately, like as far as alcohol consumption, and we see like the millennial generation is kind of taking wellness, longevity, and taking care of the body as something quite serious, you know, like it's no joke.
You know, like now there's like, even I saw the other day, it was so funny. Like there's this joke. So it was like one advertisement, so the girl says, you know, when I say you, let's meet at the bar, and it shows the bar at the gym, you know, like lift, you know, not to go and drink. So I think that's like the new trend.
Lately you've been practicing MMA. So what made you like shift towards that?
I've been doing Muay Thai now almost 2 years. What I realized is, not what I realized, but how I felt was this, like, although that it's true that in endurance sports, we are against our minds, and that the inner voice I feel also in a combat sport, although these principles move to combat sport, there's an active, dynamic opponent who try to outclass you, and then you need to just adapt to that, and then to that challenge you need to always have a solution. So those aspects actually really pulled me into martial arts, but at the same time I still do my runs because, you know, from a mindset perspective I really feel myself to be refreshed when I run. Also from a cardio perspective, really the long runs add a lot of endurance to my schedule.
As far as like the recovery process, I mean, like, I think, and I know, like what you do at the moment is quite intense. So how do you manage recovery, and like what is your discipline around that?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm one of those guys, you know, who put a lot of
10,000%
to recovery, because again, I think with people who would like to push limits, there is a way to think that, oh, the more is better, but sometimes the body needs, I mean, most of the time, the body needs to recover, and there where the actual gains happen. So for that, I do a lot of recovery. I mean, at least like 1 hour a day. I do a lot of stretches. Definitely foam roller is my to-go, and also sauna, also breath work.
How you are ensuring that basically there is a certain level of discipline between sports, between everything you do, and in trying to kind of commit to all. I mean, it's very hard sometimes.
I think like one important practice that to put everything in place is think about yourself sometimes, you know? And it's like, not everybody think about themselves all the time. Some people go like many days without even thinking about themselves. What I'm saying is not just, oh, what I'm gonna wear today, or who am I gonna meet with, what am I doing, but really like taking time to deeply look into yourself and where you put your time and attention. And where we put these really change who we are. I have a routine journaling practice, or sometimes I like just taking short walks and just thinking about what I'm doing. And we need to always dynamically prioritize our lives.
In a way, how you balance that all together, you know, like it's very tough.
I think it's always misbalanced, because if you want to be good at something, you need to be obsessed with it.
So what are you most obsessed with at the moment?
Like, to be honest, I have a very long-term goal now, when things will allow. I want to go to Thailand, do 2-3 months of Muay Thai training, and then get into an amateur fight there. I think it's been a time that has been coming. Actually, I was supposed to have an amateur fight in Dubai, but you know, with the recent situation in the region, many event dates have changed. When it comes to running, actually, it's not a goal, but it's kind of like a dream one day. I really want to run the 160K Ultra Mont Blanc.
Inshallah.
You know, just, I mean, I love running in Dubai, I love running on the street, but for me, trails are my love. Just during COVID, actually, because I'm from Turkey, so where I live is a small island and 80% is nature. During COVID, as part of the second part of the COVID, I was there when there were all the places were closed. And actually, I did like a 36-kilometer run just by myself for preparing for that. And then it was a lot of elevation gain as well, 1.1 kilometer elevation gain in 36 kilometers. And that was the time I really fell in love with running in nature. So hopefully maybe one day Ultra Mont Blanc, let's go with you, huh?
Inshallah.
We'll go back to Switzerland.
I mean, probably not Mont Blanc, but we'll do a marathon together soon, inshallah.